Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Starshaped versus JohnnyCage. This game taking place here on Last Refuge. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up to the 2-minute mark of this game. It is what hero is it gonna be? It looks like it's gonna be a tavern hero actually coming in from Starshaped. Meanwhile, it is gonna be an archmage coming in from JohnnyCage. All right, opening things up. Archmage already going straight after that Forest Troll. High Priest picks up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest as well as the Rock Golem because it was aggroed away. Not going to be doing any of those boulder tosses. All right, damage already racking up. Archmage taking quite a bit of damage as the Water Elemental was ensnared, not able to absorb up very much. Meanwhile, Bear and the Beastmaster in the center portion of the map able to take down a footman here as a Wisp now trying to back away as well. Archmage gets up to level 2 pretty quickly, and this game is straight out of the gate already very fast, even if I didn't try and speed up the first 2 minutes. All right, quick boulder onto the Forest Troll Shadow Priest right there. He's going to be able to heal back up, join back in on the battles, and perhaps try and fight back here. Meanwhile, Footman shows up to the party. Another boulder onto the Bear here as that Rock Golem getting in quite a bit of stuns. Ancient of War, however, tanking much of that damage as we see the Rock Golem down to 60 hit points. Quick ensnare onto the Footman there, trying to lose a little bit of that aggro. That Rock Golem still regenerating quite a bit of hit points. Finally going to get level 2 on the Beastmaster. I thought for a second the Ancient of War was going to get the final hit on that Rock Golem, which would have been a tremendous loss for Starshaped, as he would not have gained any of that experience. All right, handful of Forest Troll Trappers are all that are left. Meanwhile, off to the north, Archmage continuing with all of this aggression, and with a Claws of Attack +5 and a Robe of Magi +6, this Archmage auto attack is dealing significant damage already. Level 3, picking up a Ring of Protection +3. 44 damage, auto attack +7 armor. That Archmage really racking up some of that damage here as the Militia going to finish off that last Forest Troll Trapper. All right, JohnnyCage opening things up and Starshaped, both sides opting to go for perhaps expansions here, as a Rune Bracers is going to be dropped for that Beastmaster. No sign for tier 2 on either side, as I take it back. Starshaped already at teching halfway to tier 2 and could also be trying to set up a Tree of Eternity eventually, as we're looking at the Ancient of War. Still trying to replenish those hit points. Archmage drops a Sentry Ward here to keep track of some of these units. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster returns back home, perhaps going to try to drink a little bit of Moonwells, and before making its way back out, trying to continue all of that creeping without draining all of his Moonwells absolutely completely, as there's still time to refill them during nightfall. 28 supply compared to 33. Expansion of JohnnyCage off to the north is well underway. Also, dual Forest Troll Shadow Priest for JohnnyCage is going to give him an advantage, as he has that Brilliance aura as well. Are we going to see some Abolished Magic onto that Raging Bear? Yes, we are, as the Water Elemental also gets Abolished Magic as well. A little bit of that auto attack damage, a little bit of that Claws of Attack +6 plus the Robe of Magi, able to finish off that Forest Troll Shadow Priest very quickly, and that is very significant. Meanwhile, the Forest Troll Shadow Priest off over here wants to try and heal up, taking quite a bit of damage, and then backed into a corner as the Archer quickly Shadow Melds as well. Archer could be in a little bit of trouble. We're going to see an Archer get Shadow Melded, but still not be in time, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest continuing to march away continually. Forest Troll Shadow Priest going to try to sacrifice himself by waking up the creeps, but unable to do that, as the Beastmaster gets that final attack on the back. All right, Quill Beast, one more shot should take him down. Yes, he does get taken down. Beastmaster and the Archmage still battling up here. All of the Shadow Priests quickly being destroyed, as that is important in a game where both teams and both sides have summoned units. Both players are going to be monitoring that mercenary camp, trying to get a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. There's a reveal right there, taking down both archers, and now getting up to level 4 on that Archmage with level 2 Brilliance Aura. Tech to 2 turn just now started, while the Panda is already out on the battlefield. Gonna go ahead and get a Breath of Fire off. Ancient of War gonna be absorbing quite a bit of damage here, as the Panda gonna go ahead and re-engage. Archmage, however, gonna be coming in from the side. Perhaps the Sentry Ward keeping track of some of the action here, as the Panda absorbing quite a bit of damage. There's a Purge onto the Panda. Breath of Fire finishes off the level 5 null there, as the units are still trying to make their way back around. All right, there is an item underneath the Ancient of War, difficult to pick up. Is he going to be able to pick it up right there? No, trying to take it down. Ancient of War, who gets the item? Ring of Protection for the Archmage, as the Panda still taking a little bit of damage, trying to get away. All right, a little bit more damage getting added back up here. Meanwhile, Tree of Life entangling the gold mine. Expansion already operational off to the north, as JohnnyCage is getting that late tech to tier 2, but building up the rest of the remaining buildings as well. All right, Footman going after the entangled gold mine, trying to stop it from getting started, and any bit of time that you're able to deny your opponent gold is a clear advantage. Staff of Preservation by the Beastmaster, saving that Panda. Meanwhile, Water Elemental going to get taken down as the Beastmaster continues to inch towards level 4 as well. A Forest Troll Shadow Priest now out onto the battlefield. Forest Troll Shadow Priest out across here as well, but the Raging Bear has significantly more hit points than that Water Elemental, translating better for Starshaped. However, Arcane Brilliance or Brilliance Aura going to be a big difference as for any additional Forest Troll Shadow Priest that make their way out onto the battlefield. Dryads coming in from Starshaped, and JohnnyCage is going to have a lot to try and counteract all of the water elementals that the Archmage will be summoning. Perhaps we should be looking at a retrain into Blizzard, as the Raging Bear gets a bit of a bash onto the Footman. Are we going to see deny? No, we are not. Archmage unable to launch that final fireball. Pally man, well, Happy New Year to everyone who I haven't already said Happy New Year to. I think I said it a couple of times already. So yeah, Happy New Year. May 2022 be better than, well, 2021. And I think 2021 was better than 2020. But I don't know, now with just an overwhelming amount of information, we'll see what Omicron ultimately becomes if well, the hospitalizations go up. Anyways, you guys didn't come here to listen more about the coronavirus. Let's go ahead and break things down here as Starshaped comes across here. Beastmaster taking quite a bit of damage. Archmage is here, level 4 now on the Beastmaster, as the Dryads come in with the Abolish Magic, stopping that Water Elemental in its tracks. Archmage now trying to double back through the other way. Dryad looks like was able to slip through fairly easily, prancing away from all of her 4 suitors. Back off to the north here, Archmage continuing to retreat back home. We can see the tech to tier 3 and the Mountain King now nearly making its way out, and this is a dangerous time for Starshaped. Starshaped has a level 4 Beastmaster that's low on hit points. Mountain King now out, Stormbolt onto the Beastmaster, but the Beastmaster looks like it will be fine, as the Archmage needs to run inside and perhaps get a heal. Where are those priests? The priests are nowhere to be seen as of yet. Mountain King still going after that Beastmaster. Beastmaster down to 135 hit points. Archmage may be able to get some damage off onto some units. Stormbolt instead onto a Forest Troll Berserker, as the Mountain King down to 52 hit points, gonna try and retreat away. Mountain King getting actually a little bit of help, but the Bears get the final shot off in the back, as the Dryad was able to get a bit of slow poison in to slow down that Mountain King. Level 1 Resurrection still going to be pretty quick though, as the Mountain King gets trained back up. Off to the north, we see workshops being added in to try and deal with some of those Dryads, but the Panda is already nearing level 3, meaning level 2 Breath of Fire will be diving in onto that back line. Yes, the Panda Brewmaster does blow. All right, Forest Troll Trapper is going to get taken down here. Wand of Mana Stealing, perhaps useful to take some additional mana away from a Mountain King if you believe the Mountain King is about to get a Stormbolt off. Always great to try and delay that just a little bit. Scroll of Regeneration being used by a handful of units here. What's going on? Forest Troll Trapper. Where did it even go? As we're looking at more damage being dealt across here. Dire Quillbeast going to get finished off. There's another Abolish Magic. Pandas at level 3. Brewmaster at level 4. Looking to be in a great spot. And we see JohnnyCage with a very aggressive creeping on the red creep camp here on Last Refuge. All right, 4 o'clock position will get cleared up. Meanwhile, off to the north here, perhaps the Brewmaster and the Panda looking for exactly JohnnyCage is, perhaps not suspecting that the Mountain King would do something as daring as coming across here. Mountain King now already up to, almost 10 armor in that frontline spot, as the Archmage gives up all of his pretty rings. Dropping down these last Forest Troll Berserkers and that Forest Troll High Priest. Meanwhile, off to the north, Starshaped may be thinking that he's doing a great job clearing out his opponent's local orange creep camp, not knowing that the faraway red creep camp was in fact still up and or already getting cleared out. Mountain King with over 10 armor now should be diving into this front line situation. Forest Troll Berserker needs to rack up a bit of damage. Mountain King does have Thunderclap, does have a decent amount of mana, but may just want to hold on to the mana for an upcoming fight with a Starshaped here. Mortar teams, well, trying to fight back at home. Bears trying to get some rejuvenation off, but that was quickly stolen and given back to some of those mortar teams, as well as the Goblin Shredder could get taken down to a 95, 59 hit points as it was blown apart with the Breath of Fire as the Goblin Zeppelin tried to get away. All right, more mortar teams lobbing those attacks against those Dryads and those Bears. 67 supply compared to 60, as the Archmage and the Mountain King still making plays all around the map here. All right, Mountain King does have Claws of Attack +9, and now going after this Entangled Goldmine. That fortified armor going to be difficult to try and take out. Meanwhile, off onto the base here, repairs are underway onto the Altar of Kings, as the mortar teams are trying to finish off a couple of those Dryads here. Bears going to be able to finish off the Altar of Kings, as the Paladin is going to get stuck and needs to be, well, trained back up from the very beginning. Squirrel Town Portal going to be heading back here. Mountain King not going for a Thunderclap. Repairs are underway, as the Entangled Gold Mine still is mining quite a bit of gold. Bears, Fairy Dragons now looking to retreat back. Archmage sitting at level 5, Mountain King sitting at level 2, nearing level 3, and now going after the other dangerous red creep camp. JohnnyCage being extremely aggressive with the creeps here, going after the Ogre Lord, the Archmage, with +20 attack, going straight after that unit there. Level 3 on the Mountain King, just a little bit shy here, as we are going to see a tactical retreat. Ogre Magi going to get taken down. Level 3 on that Mountain King and head back out, picking up some of all of those good items. Archmage now getting ready to engage. A big thunderclap across that front line. Many of those Bears were actually slowed down, as the level 2 thunderclaps could spell a bit of problems for those Bears before they're able to get into the proper position. More damage coming across here. Forest Troll Berserkers adding in a little bit of damage, as well as they're still aggroing from those creeps. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across all of those priests. The priest trying to get away. Fairy Dragon's going to go ahead and Mana Flare it up, as the Mountain King, now completely surrounded, could have a bit of problems. Does have, well, quite a bit of armor, but now gets picked back up into the air as the Fairy Dragons are just laying waste to all of the priests here. Mountain King could try to go for another Thunderclap here as well. Waiting for it. There it is, another Thunderclap, slowing down many of those Bears. 68 supply compared to 67. Arcane Tower and Guard Tower in the back, causing problems, as the Mountain King could be in trouble. Mountain King down to 20 hit points, trying to escape, going to get final attack and gets taken down, giving level 5 to the Beastmaster. All right, level 3 Mountain King taken down. No Paladin as of yet, as the Demon Hunter still diving on in. A lot of low hit point Bears. Are they going to actually fall? No, they do not look like it, and Starshaped going to be able to save 2 low hit point Bears with rejuvenation and get them back into action. Demon Hunter now trying to dive into this position here. Archmage trying to hold on to whatever he's got in the back here, as the Paladin now makes its way back out onto the battlefield. Mountain King still out of commission temporarily. Staff of Preservation saves, as the Demon Hunter going after the Paladin. Paladin is now pretty much trapped in a very, very dangerous spot. He's going to continue to Holy Light and get Staff of Sanctuary back home. All right, Knights joining in on the battle as well. Spellbreakers making their way over, and this is a long, drawn-out battle inside the base of JohnnyCage with no end in sight, as the Dryads and more units are still taking down. Archmage does have that Staff of Sanctuary, was able to save a couple of units. Archmage now going after some more of those units here, as the Panda now trying to do a tactical retreat. 48 supply compared to 74. Archmage now leading the charge. That +20 damage, perhaps not what Starshaped was expecting here at all, as a handful of Bears, well, in Druid form, need to get healed back up before they really want to venture forth. Demon Hunter gonna actually lose quite a bit of experience to the Beastmaster, as the Beastmaster is joining in on this fight. No reason for him to even be here at all whatsoever. Units looking to perhaps retreat back here. More Staff of Preservations, more saves here. Paladin out. Mountain King still waiting for that Resurrection, nearing completion once more. And that level 3 Mountain King with level 2 Thunderclap will make his presence known fairly fast. How is Starshaped going to transition? He has the advantage right now. Level 5, level 4, level 2. he's up on base, or he's up in terms of army supply, and he could continue to just translate this as well as we see some more abolished magics go down and getting in more experience for the Night Elf heroes. All right, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, another priest getting taken out. A slow battle of attrition as JohnnyCage is trying to get out of low upkeep limbo, sitting at 59 over 84 supply. Still battling it out. How do you like Shallow Grave, by the way? Shallow Grave is starting to grow on me more and more. Before, I think it was just the creeps that I liked, but still, things are looking better and better for the overall map pool. Demon Hunter gets a mana burn off onto the Sorceress, now coming back the other way as we're looking at more Raging Bears and other units coming across. Mountain King is going to go ahead and rejoin up here. Archmage does have level 3 Brilliance over Aura over level 3 Water Elementals, which is incredibly important. Perhaps one of the reasons why the Dryads are able to abolish magic these Water Elementals so quickly, since they have so few hit points. Now that we have that single target abolish magic. All right, Hippogriff trying to go after the Flying Machine, but the Guard Towers there offering a bit too much protection. Level 2 now on the Paladin. Are we going to be looking at Devotion Aura? Yes, we are. A little bit of additional armor across all of those units here as the Archmage, well, able to do a lot of auto attacks here to rack up that damage. There is a large amount of bears by Starshaped. Starshaped is retreating back with 8 bears and nearing an 80 supply. Needs just one more Dryad if he wants to try and go for that there. Yeah, 80 supply now and should be pushing on in. Main bases have about 3 minutes of mining left, but there is already a Tree of Life by Starship establishing up a base that will soon be lost. Meanwhile, Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin still working together. 73 over 84 supply. Hero level advantage still belonging easily to Starshaped. Will he be able to capitalize on this is the question. Mortar teams with their very far range, though, could cause some problems, as the Fairy Dragons are in that front line spot here. What is the Fairy Dragons going to do? They do have that Fairy Fire, or excuse me, that Mana Flare. Fairy Fire, wrong unit, to try and stop many of the sorceresses and the priests in the back line. And well, we know that there are also flying machines that are going to try and poke them down. Aside from that, though, well, I don't see that many Dryads available out onto the battlefield. So the Bears of Starshape might actually start getting, well, stumbling over each other if they are not careful. That is part of the problem if your entire army is not able to engage at the same time because they are all melee. Even if you have the larger army, your opponent's range units in the back may be able to dish out more damage even though their overall supply is smaller. More units making their way back down to the south here as well. Bears trying to make their way through. Agreed, now only Echo Isle needs to go. Yeah, Echo Isle still perhaps my least favorite out of the current batch. Entangled Goldmine, and well, getting entangled here. 90 more seconds for the main base here. Meanwhile, a little bit more than 90 seconds off on the north side. Doesn't look like there's an expansion attempt either way. And Starshaped is, well, not quite sure how he wants to pursue this and press with this. Starshaped now going into high upkeep, 146, 150. And if he is able to take a very large supply advantage over, that may become his saving grace, as all of these units are not going to be able to get into position properly. A handful of slows, a thunderclap from that Mountain King could, well, cause a lot of problems. Mountain King simply just walking on by here, keeping track of all of these units. Mountain King perhaps going to try and pick up some items from the shop and be able to get some thunderclaps onto that backside here. Getting ready for the engagement. Archmage looking to back up. Mountain King amongst a sea of units, able to back away once more. 89 supply over 90. JohnnyCage is also in high upkeep as well, and we're going to be going into a high upkeep battle. Water Elemental quickly being dropped here. We're looking at 12 supply, or 12 gold a second, going up against 7 gold a second, or 8 gold a second, as we are looking at the fight get underway. Breath of Fire coming back across. Mountain King really not getting in that much damage here. Inner Fire across many of the flying machines, as the Hippogriff Riders could end up getting taken down. There's a Scroll of Healing to try and counteract. There's a Thunderclap. Bears are actually getting slowed down quite a bit as the flying machine's trying to finish off the units. Demon Hunter falls at level 2. Paladin still alive here. Mountain King gets off another Thunderclap as well, as the Mountain King finally out of mana after a mana burn. Demon Hunter needs to get resurrected quickly to try and shut down that Mountain King. Meanwhile, 2 level 5 heroes are putting in the pressure, blowing over quite a bit of AoE. Flying machines in the air, not able to do very much of anything else, as the Panda could have perhaps blown them out of the sky if he had the necessary mana. Bears are now trying to dive on in once more. Mountain King could go after another Thunderclap. No, goes after a Staff of, or gets Staff to Sanctuary instead, as the Paladin is in that front line spot trying to hold on. Archmage Gal gets up to level 6, level 3 water elementals over that mass teleport, as this battle is still raging on Starshaped, losing a handful of bears right now, and things could go bad as that damage is just starting to add up more and more. All right, low hit point Druid to the Claw is going to go ahead and retreat. Another low hit point Druid to the Claw, able to escape away. Not 100 hit points between these 3 units, as that Druid of the Claw escapes away from with just a little bit of splash damage left. 66 supply compared to 70. Mountain King shows back up onto the battlefield, wants to finish off some of those units. He's going to be able to get off a level 2 Stormbolt. No, he does not. Mountain King unable to get off the Stormbolt to finish off that unit here, as flying machines quickly scout out that there is an expansion here at the 4 o'clock location. Starshaped not going to be able to hold on to this whatsoever. We're looking at level 6, level 4, level 3 going up against level 5, level 2, and Starshaped, well, unable to capitalize on his supply advantage. Too many bears, and those bears were not all able to engage at the same time. 74 supply compared to 73. Mountain King quickly gets in a Thunderclap right there. Gets mana burned as well. Not enough detonations. Quill Beast going to join in on the battle. Mountain King trying to fight. Wisp coming in from the main expansion, as well, as this could turn into a bloodbath. All right, no. Mass Teleport quickly retrained in order to get away. Flying machines do have the bombs. Flying machines could easily finish off that Hippogriff with no problems, as the flying machines do need to get repaired. All right, one Breath of Fire would finish them all off. I thought the Archmage did not go for Mass Teleport. Perhaps there was a retraining right there. In addition, the Archmage and the Mountain King both have Staff of Sanctuaries, should be able to save units pretty easily, as mortar teams are getting teleported back. We do need to see a handful of peasants out here on the battlefield to repair all of these flying machines, as the flying machines did make an impact earlier on. All right. Still coming back through. Peasants doing a little bit of long distance mining. No, trying to set up an expansion, and this expansion is just going to feed experience to the Demon Hunter and all of these units here. Demon Hunter, if it gets up to level 3, could spell a different game, but I don't believe Starshaped will be backing off with the other 2 heroes. Is there enough experience to get to level 3? That is the question, and it looks like there may actually be enough right there between all of these units. Yes, level 3 and level 6, a double level up for Starshaped, getting the Beastmaster, and now going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal to try and run back down to the south here. All right, Scroll of Town Portal. Oh no, Mass Teleport chiming back the other way. Dryads could go after those priests, try to slow things down, as well, as that priest gets taken down, and Water Elemental going to end up getting body blocked and then give more experience as well. Brewmaster of Starshaped may end up getting to level 6 and unlocking Earth, Storm, and Fire. Meanwhile, the expansion here was quickly destroyed down, and Mass Teleporting back. 66 supply compared to 74. No mining off to the north. This gold mine still has about a minute left. Starshaped having a little bit of time here to try and bank up gold and then push with a larger level advantage and a larger army advantage once more. All right, JohnnyCage did a great job holding off while being behind, and we'll see if he's able to do it once more. Starshaped is coming in with, I believe, the stronger hero level. If the Wisp are able to detonate on that backline, or things are able to unfold, and this is the problem though, the mass teleportation movement could always be an issue as a Hippogriff tries to dive on him. There is a couple of Moonwells healing up that Hippogriff right there, as the Dryads now show up to the party to try and abolish magic that Water Elemental and take it down. Hippogriff continuing to poke apart at a lone flying machine, but that flying machine ends up being able to fly away again. Level 6, level 4, level 3, Invisible Water Elemental making its way past the army again. And, well, that is just going to be a beacon for Mass Teleport here in just a moment. The mortar teams and these units have been able to, with the Mass Teleport, able to dive in and out of sticky situations with really no recourse at all. Demon Hunter is at level 3, as I mentioned. Level 2 mana burn could become the key here to try and stop that Mountain King and that level 2 Thunderclap across all of these frontline melee units. Tree of Eternity now walking over to the 4 o'clock position, perhaps to try and establish up a new base. You can see a Wisp off over here keeping track of the 10 o'clock position. And, well, Starshaped, well, in comes the Archmage. Archmage, where's he going to teleport to? Yes, straight up here, and now take down this Chimera Roost with no problem. Mountain King trying to finish things off here. Meanwhile, the Dryads are now making their way down to this Tree of Life is making its way off to the north, trying to establish up additional bases as the Chimera Roost stays alive at 129 hit points. Tree of Eternity wants to entangle this gold mine here. We're looking at 67 supply compared to 72. The high mobility of JohnnyCage is going to be the main problem. These flying machines with their fast movement speed and the mass teleport moving the army pretty much anywhere where he wants to be instantaneously is going to be an issue. Meanwhile, though, the Archmage does not have a Scroll of Town Portal, so could actually get caught out in the open if he's not careful. All right, getting ready and in position. Panda off to the side here, ready for that breath of fire across the squadron if they try to pressure in. Starshaped and JohnnyCage nearly the same size army on both sides. Mountain King could easily Stormbolt and stop that channeling ability of the Beastmaster, making Stampede not the necessary ability overall. Flying machines trying to take down this entangled goldmine. Panda being brought over 2 breaths of fire would blow them all out of the sky, literally, giving a big advantage. But Starshaped now is the only one that's going to be able to mine any gold. All right, continuing to make its play back across here. Archmage going to dive on in. Inner Fire on Knights. I don't believe Animal War Training has been researched. The Knights not as high on health as they could be, as they're going to be rushing back in and down. Panda trying to rush on in here. Thunderclap. Breath of Fire across all of the flying machines here as the units are going to try and engage. Flying machine trying to dive bomb onto those Dryads. Mortar teams lobbing things down. Staff of Sanctuary and Staff of Preservation still in play as the flying machines going after all of these units once again. Fairy Dragons, Hippogriffs going to get taken down. There is still a Chimera up off to the front. JohnnyCage down to 55 supply compared to 61. Flying machines finishing off some of those other air units as well as the engagement still going down. Beastmaster gets taken down at level 6. And that could be the final nail there. Starshaped unable to hold on as JohnnyCage able to outlast his opponent. Demon Hunter, Potion of Invulnerability, still alive for now. Meanwhile, the Brewmaster seeing that level 5 Staff of Preservation saving a unit there. And Mountain King is going to go, Stormbolt onto a bear and now finish off this Tree of Eternity. 48 supply. More gold still being mined, but it may not last very long as this Tree of Eternity down to 1,400 hit points. Uprooting may be the better call here as the Brewmaster still needs a little bit more mana. The Mortar team still doing quite a bit of damage. There's Mass Detonation trying to remove some of the mana from all of these other casters, but that is not going to work out well. Off to the north here, Tree of Life needed to entangle earlier, didn't entangle or didn't root itself and entangle that gold mine. And now with Starshaped not having any gold to mine, JohnnyCage outlasting his opponent with that high mobility, looks like he's going to be able to pull off the upset victory. All right. Archmage with plus 28 damage across the board. Auto attacks dealing a lot more damage than you would expect. Upwards of 70 damage per attack. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Panda still looking to finish off more units. Wants to go into Earth, Storm, and Fire and shut down multiple units. And, well, go ahead and engage here. And Archmage says, you know what? I don't need to be around in this battle. But what is this? Are we going to perhaps get a Cyclone onto that Knight? He could try and Windwalk, and then take down that Knight. But the Knight able to escape away with that 1-2 upgrades. Off to the north here. Water Elemental going to look to try and take down this entangled gold mine. Wisp are still trying to get trained up. Starshaped not giving up on this battle, but beautiful detonation to try and stop the Water Elemental and that mass teleport, forcing the Archmage to walk that remaining distance. Doing the small things, but is it going to matter as the Earth, Storm, and Fire will be coming to an end here in just a moment. Archmage not dropping in any Water Elementals, pretty much as a walking mana morale booster across the board. Demon Hunter gets a mana burn off, tries to get a Breath of Fire out, but the Panda is going to be surrounded and taken down. Level 7 now on the Archmage, and JohnnyCage should be able to cruise with the rest of this game to victory with little to no problem whatsoever. Mountain King still getting plenty of mana. Bears getting taken down one by one. And, well, this should be the end. A beautiful, beautiful game overall. Beastmaster back out onto the battlefield finally. Is he going to be able to at least get a little bit of a win by taking down a paladin or some of the other heroes? No, Staff of Sanctuary saves the unit. Staff of Preservation saves another unit there off to the north, as the Mountain Giant has nowhere really to go. 17 supply compared to 42. No mining for JohnnyCage. He's just been using his army that well and that efficiently as the Archmage wanders around here. Are we going to be looking at a Stormbolt? No, Mountain King not going to be able to Stormbolt. Mountain Giant gets taken down, and there's only 10 supply left. There's only 2 heroes left and a whole bunch of Moonwells. Could be exactly what Starshaped needs, but it would have to be a very, very tragic misplay by JohnnyCage if Starshaped wins this now. Ancient of Lores could uproot and try and fight back, but at this point you want that fortified armor to reduce the damage from that Archmage. Meanwhile, more damage coming across onto these units here. Beastmaster could be in trouble, down to 88 hit points, down to 24. Gonna try and drink from some Moonwells. Unable to do that. He gets taken down as the Demon Hunter trying to finish off some more units here. Demon Hunter continuing the battle lit up, and that is going to be the game. Good game, good luck. Starshaped throws in the towel as JohnnyCage pretty much takes down every single one of Starshaped's units at the very end, leaving Starshaped with 0 supply. Great game, back and forth, a lot of endurance. Starshaped had the larger army, had opportunities to win, but his unit combination and unit choices did not allow him to attack with all 8 bears, or I believe he went up to 9 or 10 bears at some point. That the staggering of units really making a big enough difference there to be able to inflict damage with that back line. Starshaped had plenty of opportunities to win, but JohnnyCage's unit composition, coupled with slow, able to outlast his opponent. I believe he even lost in terms of resources. Yeah, he lost in terms of resources, total mind, and even the total gold lost to upkeep. Ultimately, in the end, the experience race was won by JohnnyCage, even though Starshaped had a lead in that category as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.